Here's a list of 15 of our favorite minimalist hobbies for when you want to enjoy your spare time in an intentional and enjoyable way without the pile up of stuff. Having a hobby doesn't need to cost you a lot of money or a lot of things or gadgets piling up in your home. We've pulled together a list of 15 wonderful and unique hobbies as an ideas list, which all focus on experiences, getting out and about, and living life to its fullest rather than accumulating more and more stuff. Let's jump into it. First up, stargazing. With just your eyes, you can explore the night sky. No fancy equipment is needed, which is why I love this one. I've been getting very into stargazing lately, and most nights you can find me out in our backyard looking up at the night sky. There's a wealth of knowledge for free on YouTube about different star constellations, and there's just something about realizing the gravity and immenseness of the universe, the stars and planets, the solar systems, that has a wonderful way of putting my own life into perspective. So if you want a new hobby that doesn't cost you any money and requires no equipment at all, then give stargazing a go. If you're too close to bright city lights, then maybe wander out a little further one night and enjoy the beautiful glittery stars of the night sky.
Next hobby, an all-time favorite of ours, walking or hiking. Jess and I try and head out on a walk together once a day. It's definitely in our top part of our list of favorites. No expensive equipment required, just a good pair of shoes. Taking it to the next level, hiking is just a little more intense and sometimes a more picturesque way of walking, which is also a wonderful minimalist hobby that requires hardly any equipment, depending on how intense you like to hike. For us though, we always just bring some homemade snacks and water in a backpack and our walking shoes, and we're good to go. It's a fun way to spend the weekend, going out and finding new hiking trails or even walking along the coastline. If you want to get out in nature, walking or hiking is a fantastic way to find new places and can easily be one of the best minimalist hobbies out there with the little amount of stuff required.
Next up, we have nature watching. Getting out in nature and simply being is a wonderful thing to bolster your mental and physical health, and it doesn't even need to cost you a cent. Simply getting outside in your local area, finding a local park, creek, or even just your backyard can be a great way to get in touch with the nature that surrounds you. Whether it's the magic of watching birds build a nest or the ever-changing clouds above, nature watching in whatever form you enjoy best is a wonderfully grounding hobby, very suited to the minimalist lifestyle. I even read recently that simply hearing birds singing activates a calming, peaceful biological response in our human brains, because from many years ago, it meant for our ancestors all was safe and well in our surroundings if birds were singing. There were no lurking predators nearby. When I hear birds happily chirping away, I definitely find myself melting into a feeling of calm. So that's cool, and a very minimalist activity that requires absolutely no stuff. So give it a go, wander out into nature and just get immersed, observe, and enjoy being mindful of yourself as a living and breathing part of nature.
Next, as number 4 on our list of minimalist hobbies, we have running. Just like walking, all you need is a good pair of shoes. Well, and clothes too, so you don't find yourself getting chased down the streets by the police. Minimal stuff is needed for this hobby, and it's been a long time favorite of mine. For many years, I've even enjoyed short distance running with my athletics club, with sprinting 400 meters as my personal favorite. Running isn't everyone's cup of tea, but I love it for its simplicity and way to create mini goals and targets for yourself. So if you're after a new hobby, one that doesn't need anything aside from shoes and clothes, then give running a go.
Number 5 on our list of minimalist hobbies, and one that is far more my cup of tea, writing. Just a pen and paper if you like things old school, or even more minimalist than just a laptop to type on. Writing is an incredibly fulfilling hobby that I've always gravitated towards. There's so much within this category as well. Journaling, creative writing, blogging, or even writing a YouTube script. Writing is a fantastic outlet for creativity. Not too much else to say on this one, except it's a wonderful minimalist hobby, given its simplicity and low requirement of stuff. So the next time you find yourself with some free time and in need of trying out a new hobby or even rekindling an old one, give writing a go.
Number 6 on our list of minimalist hobbies, we have yoga. Jess and I have been practicing yoga for years, and it's been one of the best things for our flexibility and strength training. It's helped with starting our mornings off in a peaceful and mindful state, getting joints moving, and helped hugely with Jess's back soreness. Just comfortable clothing and potentially even a yoga mat for this hobby, although we got by for many years without an actual mat. We've got this cool one that has a bunch of yoga poses on it with their official fancy names, which cuts down on us whipping out our phones first thing in the morning to try and figure out what poses we want to do next. So it's been a great hobby for us, and I think given the limited amount amount of stuff required, it 100% aligns well as a minimalist hobby. So if you're looking for something that gets you a little more mobile without a bunch of stuff, yoga is a wonderful hobby to try out.
7th on our list of minimalist hobbies, and a big one of mine personally, cooking. This is one of my all-time favorites. Everyone needs to eat, and learning to cook is a wonderful way to spend time. It can be as difficult or as easy as you like. There's honestly no rules about how you cook in your own household. It's your kitchen and you get to keep it as simple as you like. Cooking at home is a fantastic way to save money, become more self-sufficient, and I find it oddly therapeutic to just stay at home cooking up a storm in our kitchen. Sometimes I get crazy creative and have a lot of fun making new things like these cheesy oven-baked spaghetti donuts, and other times I just like keeping weeknights as simple as possible and enjoy bulk making healthy homemade meals ahead of time, so all I need to do is heat them up again. For those lazy kind of nights where I might instead hear McDonald's whisper my name. Home cooking is wonderful, and even just keeping it as simple as possible and using basic kitchen tools and simple ingredients, I'd say cooking is one of the best minimalist hobbies out there. It's an incredible and rewarding skill, learning how to cook efficiently, and for us, meal prepping has been one of the best ways we've simplified our lives. Cooking is one of my favorite activities to unwind after a hectic day, and the peace and quiet of our home and being able to sit down afterwards and share a wonderful meal with Josh and Addie is one of life's greatest joys. So if you want a new hobby that actually doesn't require many new things to be bought, then give cooking a go and perhaps learn a new recipe to be your new favorite go-to.
Next on our list of minimalist hobbies, another of our all-time personal favorites, reading. Jess and I have mentioned a few times in our previous videos that we're cozy minimalists, and that it's actually wonderful to keep the things you love and find enjoyment from. We're not extreme minimalists, and in big part because we cherish books. For us, there's nothing better than spending a rainy weekend rugged up with a favorite book, getting lost in an epic adventure with our favorite characters. Books don't need to be expensive, and most of ours we've actually picked up on various thrift store trips and scored them for a few dollars a piece. For the actual hobby of reading, books don't even need to be physical. They can be ebooks you can download on your phone or Kindle, or even audiobooks are a special kind of love of ours. So reading as a hobby doesn't actually require you to buy or collect anything physical if you don't want to. There's free books from the library, or the free Libby reading app is absolutely our most used app of all time. Reading offers hours and hours of enriching entertainment, and it's one of our favorite minimalist hobbies.
Next, as number 9 on our list of minimalist hobbies, one that requires no equipment and can be incredibly fulfilling, volunteering. Volunteering is a fantastic hobby where you can give your time to a cause or charity that you care about. I've nearly always volunteered and love the sense of purpose it gives. Whether it's at an animal shelter, a food bank, or a local sporting group, there's something out there for everyone. Nearly always, especially if you're just starting out and not in a leadershipy kind of position, you won't need to bring anything. They'll supply everything you need. At least that's been my experience. So volunteering is a wonderful hobby, and one where you can truly just bring yourself to, without needing to buy a heap of stuff to start like other more cost-intensive hobbies. We'd 100% recommend giving volunteering a go if you're looking for a new minimalist hobby to spend your time with.
Next, as number 10, gardening. Gardening can be a wonderful minimalist activity, which definitely depends on how simple you want it. Jess and I have been experimenting with some dirt in our backyard after ripping up some of our grass and planted some veggies there instead. And the joy we get from watching things grow into food we can actually eat is the best feeling in the world. We're growing lettuce, spinach, carrots, potatoes, more rosemary than we know what to do with, and it's been a really fun learning process. Hands down, one of the best minimalist hobbies out there. We haven't got a lot, just some gloves, a shovel, and a watering can, and it's been a rewarding way to spend our time. Gardening can get expensive or as big as you like it, just like it can be as simple and as manageable as you like it. If you're short on space, even a little kitchen windowsill garden is hugely satisfying to tend to as a new hobbyist. So give gardening a go and make it as simple as you like, as little equipment as you like. There's no rules, and it's completely up to you how big or small you go.
Next, as number 11 on our list, meditating. This one is perhaps the most minimalist of all. No physical items needed, just you. Just a spot to sit or lay down. I've come a long way with my ability to meditate over the years, but I do remember when I first started trying, I found it really difficult and didn't know what to do. I ended up making it far more complicated than it needed to be. So simply finding a quiet space to sit, shutting your eyes and focusing on your breathing in and out as you become more aware of where your mind is wandering, that's meditating. Being intentional with acknowledging where your mind is wandering off to and refocusing on your breathing, that's meditating in its absolute simplest form. Again, it doesn't need to be anything needlessly cumbersome like the perfectly laid blanket to sit cross-legged on with fancy candles or incense burning around you. It can be as simple simple as you like. Meditating, a true minimalist hobby and one we couldn't miss from our list.
Number 12 on our list of minimalist hobbies, drawing or sketching. This one, just like writing, can be done with just a pencil and paper or with a tablet to draw on electronically. It's a great hobby to combine with our earlier mentioned nature watching, and something I think we'll try and find more time for when we're out of winter here in Australia. But even just practicing your drawing skills inside and drawing what's around you is a fun pastime and definitely one we'd include on our list of minimalist hobbies to try.
Next, as number 13 on our list, another one that might be better suited to when you're on the other side of winter, swimming. If you have access to a pool, lake, or beach, swimming is a great way to exercise, tone muscles, and work out your lungs. It requires minimal equipment, basically just a swimsuit and a towel, maybe a pair of goggles which can conveniently double as your onion cutting kitchen goggles. I've always loved swimming, and since moving we've actually not been out very much in the water, so that's something I'd love to change when the warmer months start to roll in. Swimming is a fantastic minimalist hobby, and it's a great way to stay fit and healthy too.
Second to last on our list of minimalist hobbies to try, we have traveling and backpacking. This one we added to our list because there's a whole world of knowing how to pack light for extended periods of time traveling, and it's one we're hoping to do more of soon. We've not done too much travel ourselves, but know there's a whole lot to be gained from experiencing the world outside of your own. Practicing how to travel light with minimal luggage and focusing on creating new and wonderful experiences instead of getting bogged down with stuff. Traveling has a way of teaching us things books cannot, and giving us a sense of perspective and homing in on certain important priorities clearer than before. So if you're after a hobby, traveling or backpacking might be up your alley.
Last on our list of minimalist activities, as number 15, we have fitness. We couldn't not include this one because it truly is a wonderful way to spend your time, prioritizing your health, improving mental health, connecting with your body, and it can, if you're focusing on bodyweight exercises like push-ups, sit-ups, and squats, for example, require absolutely no equipment. You don't need big bulky gym equipment in your home to have fitness as your hobby. You can keep it as simple and clutter-free as you like. It's completely up to you. Some people love going to the gym and having all the fancy bulky machinery there waiting for them, and others like Josh and I love keeping our workout simple at home and focus a lot on basic bodyweight exercises that don't need any equipment aside from a yoga mat. So keep it as simple as you like when it comes to hobbies like fitness. There's no need to kit out your entire spare room or garage if you don't want to. You can call fitness one of your hobbies purely from how it makes you feel. It's not dependent on how much stuff you have in your home.
So there we go, 15 minimalist hobbies. We hope this list perhaps sparks some inspiration in you to try something out if you're in a bit of a rut or just want to try out something new and fun without the hassle or monetary commitment of the pile of stuff that typically accompanies taking on a new hobby.
We'd love to know, what's your favorite minimalist hobby? Let us know in the comments below, and make sure to like and subscribe if you enjoyed this kind of simple living minimalism inspo, and we'll see you next time.
Bye.
Oh.